In this section of the course, we will create this first application from absolute scratch. So we will have an app bar, a title, an image, and also we will have a Flutter launcher icon, as you can see. So this is the application that we will create inside this section. So see you on the next video to start this. Bye. In this section of the course, we will create our first ever application from absolute scratch, our first Flutter application from scratch. Let's start this by clicking on Create New Flutter Project. We will click on this, and then you can see that you have 4 selections. We will take the first one, the Flutter application, and we will click on Next. Then you have the project name, which we will call Flutter App first. You can put any name that you will prefer. Then you have the Flutter SDK path. The Flutter SDK path is where the SDK has been installed, and this is inside the installation of Flutter section of this course. You should have this already full with information. If not, you just need to find the path of your SDK. Then you have the project location. So this is where the project will be saved. I will save it inside a file called All Flutter Apps for this course. You can find any Flutter, project location that you want. It's not a problem. And finally, you have the description, which I will leave like this. I will say next. And then you have your package name. The package name is something unique, and it is used for when you publish your application. So on the Google Apps, on the Google Play Store and the Apple Store. This should be unique. So usually what you do is you use your website in reverse. So I will say com.fluttermap. The name of my application. And then I will say finish. Perfect. If you don't have a website, you can put pretty much anything. It's not a big deal. After while it is opening, we will open the simulator. Perfect. And it looks just like this. I will click on it. And this should open our simulator. I will just make it a little bit bigger. Perfect. That is good. And now we will run our application. So I will click on this button. And our application will start. So how Flutter understand that when we click on this little play button, the application will run on the phone? Let me give you a why of this. If you go inside this folder called Flutter App First, or the name of your app, you will see a folder called lib. So I always call it library. You click on it and you will find your main.dart file. This is the same file that is already open when we start. If you double click on it, you will see nothing happen because it is already open. Then inside this one, you can see that you have your main function. And when you press on this play button, this will trigger the main.dart file, this one, with the main function and trigger the entire application, which will start like this. And it is a simple app that when we click on it, we see the number go up. That's it. On the next one, what we will do on the next video, we will select everything and delete and start our main.dart file from absolute scratch. So we will create our application from scratch. That's it for this one. See you on the next video. Bye. Right now, we will create our application from scratch. As you can see, because we have deleted everything, we have now a little X on this main. When we click on it, we have a little X. You can see. This is because we don't have the main function anymore. Okay, to start an app from scratch, first thing you will need to do is import what is called the material.dart. This is all the Flutter widget, so all the information with Flutter that you need. So you need to always import that. Then what you can do is create your main function. To do that, you will say void. Void is just to say this will be a function that will return nothing. We'll just trigger something, but will not return something after. And you will see there is other function, by example, future, that will return a future value or whatever. But for now, you just need to know that void means it is a function. And you will say void main, and you will add these two brackets, and this have create your main function. As you can see, the X has disappeared right now, which is good. But after that, what you will need to do is say run app, because you want to run your application as soon as the main has triggered. So you will click on run app, and inside you will create your app that will run. Let's add this add that will run. To do this, you will need to create what we call a stateless widget. So you will say STL, it is the shortcut for stateless widget, and you will click on this. This will create your class for your app. So you can call your app my app, by example, and then you press enter. That's good. And now you can see that when you run your app, so run app, you need to run this one, so this class. So we will call this my app with the bracket, because the bracket call this class. And now you put a semicolon at the end, and then you can see that this will run our application. If we run the application, we should see just a black screen like this. Why? Because we need to create more widget in order to let Flutter know that we want an application, how it will look, and everything. For now, we just have an empty containers, which is an empty space. Okay, so on this video, what we have done is we have created our main trigger function that will call our application. But nothing really happened inside this video, which is not fun. So I will delete this container. What is the container is a widget. So I will remove this one, and I will say material app instead, because this is the root of every widget. And when you will call material app and you press play, you will see a red screen like this. So at least we have something on the screen, which is cool. And on the next video, we will be able to remove this red screen and put an application on it, which will be a little bit more beautiful. So yeah, that's it for this one. On this video, what we have done is we have created our application from scratch. The application still is a red screen, but it is from scratch. We have built our main function, our run app that run our application, and our application is a stateless widget that return the material app widget. So there is a lot. But on the next video, we will just make this screen appear like a real app. See you on the next one. Bye. Let's add our application right now on this video. First, what we can consider the material app is a widget. And inside widget, you will have what we call argument. So these are the two things you need to remember. If you press Control Space, you have all the argument that are inside the widget. So the two things you need to remember is widget and argument. You have your widget, inside you have your argument, and an argument will return another widget that this one will have argument inside, and goes and goes and goes until you have your application. So it is really widget nested inside widget. So the material app have some arguments, and the one that we will need to use right now is the home argument. And what will go inside this home argument, if you just go over, you will see that this take a widget. Okay, so it is a widget with an argument inside, and this return another widget. The widget that we will use is called the scaffold. So we use the scaffold widget, and we put the bracket. And just by adding the scaffold widget, if I run the application once again, what will happen is a white screen. So right now we have the structure of our application. It may not seems like this right now, but we have the structure of the app. Inside the scaffold, you can add other arguments. By example, if you press Control Space again, you will see all the arguments. The three more important are the app bar, which is on the top, the body that is on the middle, and the bottom app bar that is on the bottom. So let's start with the app bar, which is the bar on the top of the app. So this is the argument. And we can add a widget for this argument that is called the app bar. And maybe you have see the difference between argument and widget. The argument start with a lowercase letter, and the widget start with a capital letter. Okay? So this is how you can distinguish if it is an argument or a widget. Also, the color is different. So we have the app bar. If I run the application once again, here you go, you have your app bar on the top, which is very cool. Then what you can do is you can format document. If you right click on the screen, you will see format document. So reformat code with Dart. Here you go. This will restructure your code automatically. What you can do also, I will do Control Z to go back. What you can do is just press Option Command L, and this will automatically replace your code. So every time I say reformat code, I will do the Option Command L. I think this was a lot of explication for this video, so I will stop there on this one. On the next video, what we could do is add maybe a title on this app bar. So I will show you how to add text inside your app. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. See you on the next one. Bye. In this video, we will add a title inside our application bar. And also what we will do is change the color of this app bar. So if you want to modify something inside the app bar, you should go inside the bracket of the app bar. And then you can press Control Space to see all the possible arguments. And right now we want to add a title. So I guess this one should be good because it is called title. We will click on it. And then if you go over, you can see that this title required a widget. So you can put any widget inside this title. But what we want is some text. We want to say, by example, first Flutter app. So how do we display some text inside an application? We use a widget called simple as text. And with a capital letter, always, because widgets start with a capital letter, and argument with a lowercase. So I will put the bracket. And now inside the text, we have a little error. If we go over the text, we can see that the text is taking a string inside. And a string is something inside quotation mark. So you will put the quotation mark, and a string is just some like random text or whatever you want inside. So we will say my Flutter app, but you need to put it inside quotation mark. And then if you press the play button, you will see my Flutter app. That's cool. Also, do you remember when we right click and we can see reformat the code? Right now, how do I know that we should reformat the code? It is because we have multiple brackets following by a comma. So if you see one bracket following by a comma and another one after, that means Flutter can reformat the code. So if we click on it, so reformat code, you will see that this will place automatically. Okay, next step, what we will need to do is change the color of this app bar. So how do we do it? If you think you can do it, then go for it. Otherwise, I will show you right now. So if you want to change the color of the app bar, you should go inside the app bar. So the next step you should do, if you remember, you press Control Space to find all the arguments. And then changing the color of the app bar should be one of them. So as you can see, there is a lot. What you can do is you can start to write color to see all possible arguments with the color. So you can see the background color makes the most sense inside this situation. So we will take the background color, and the background color, if we go over, it is taking a color. The other time for the title, it was taking a widget, and now it is a color. So we will give Flutter a color. To write color, you just write with a capital C. You write colors with the S, and then you say dot, and you will have all your possible color. So right now we will use the pink color. I will press enter, and then when I restart the app, so I will just press the play button, you will see that the app bar is now pink. This is cool. Okay, so next thing that we will do on the next video, I think we will remove the debug banner. And yeah, that's pretty much. So see you on the next video. Inside this video, we will remove the little debug banner because this is not beautiful at all. How do we do that? The debug banner is inside the material app. So that means we should go inside the material app. And this is something you should know, but it is because I know it that I know it is inside the material app. So it is normal that you might say like, oh, this was not obvious, but whatever. If we go inside the material app, we will be able to find something called the debug banner. So if I press Ctrl space and I start to write debug, we have 3 of them. And we can see that one is the debug show check-in mode banner. This one makes the most sense to be related to this debug banner. So we will double click on it. And then this is taking a Boolean, so a type Boolean. That means it's take a true or a false value. So if we say false, that means we will say to Flutter, this banner, do I want to see it? No, I don't want to see it. So if we press play, this banner will disappear. That's it for this one. And on the next video, what we will do is we will start to add an image inside our Flutter app. So see you on the next one. Bye. Let's start this video by trying to add an image inside our Flutter application. If you go in the resource of this course, you should be able to find an image. So I have already downloaded every image, and we will use this one today, the win.png. So I will move back my file on the side. And how do we add an image inside Flutter? This is the question. First of all, you will need to go over your Flutter app first, so your main file, right click, click on new, and then you will press on directory. So you will create a new folder. And this folder will be called the image. Perfect. Then you press enter, and you should see a little folder called image right here. What I will do next is I will copy my image. So I will say copy, and I will go over my image folder and I will paste the image. And then I will just say refactor, just to copy the image inside my images file. Perfect. So we have the image right here. I will close this. And next thing that you need to do is you need to tell Flutter, okay, we have added this image and this is the path of the image. To do that, you will need to go inside the pubspec.yaml file. You will double click on this one and you will see this file will be quite important with Flutter. First, we will go down until we find the section right there, assets. So there is a little asterisk before, and you should see assets. So what you will do is you will put your cursor just before the A, and you will delete twice. 1, 2. Perfect. This is very important that you are aligned with the other hashtag because this file is very like, you always need to be very aligned. So be very careful inside this file. Next step is just before the image, we will go after the hashtag. We will move one to the right, and we will delete twice. 1, 2. Perfect. So this is the perfect alignment. Next step, you will show the path to Flutter. So the folder is called image, which is perfect. And our image, if we go over image right there, we can see that it is win.png. So you will need to replace this for win.png. Here you go. Perfect. And next thing you need to do is you need to call the pub get. So you should see this little button right there. You press on it, and this will reload everything inside this file. You will see Flutter pub get process finish with exit code 0, which is perfect. So we have add the path, and now the only thing we need to do is add the image inside our main file. So we will go inside this main file. First thing we need to do is add the image inside the body. So it is the middle of the application. If you remember, the scaffold is the skeleton of the app. We have the argument app bar, and we should have the argument body. So you will see the app bar argument, the app bar widget. After the app bar widget, you have your comma, and after you can add control space and find body. This is the argument body, and inside this one, you will say image with a capital letter dot asset. Here you go. And the asset is the path to the image. So you will add the quotation mark once again, and you will say image / win.png. And you can press enter. That's perfect. And now if you rerun the application, you should see the image right there. Perfect. So that's pretty much it for this video. On the next one, we will do a little change to the image location. We will place it inside the center. So if you want to try it, you can. Otherwise, I will show you how to put the image inside the center of the body in the next video. See you on the next one. Bye. In this video, we will put the image inside the center. This video will be very short because it is pretty easy. So if we want to put the image in the center, what we will need to do is wrap our image.asset with a widget that is called the center widget. How do we do that? Okay, so you can press Option Enter, over the image. So you click on image and you press Option Enter. For Mac, it will be Alt Enter. Here you go. And then you can wrap your widget with other widget. These are the most common. So we will use the wrap with center, and I will press on enter, and this will add all the code automatically. And then as soon as I press the play button again, I will have my image inside the center of the body. That's it. Okay, and just before we finish this video, you can see that we have two brackets, one after the other. So if we click on Format Document, nothing will happen because we don't have the comma. So let's try it. Nothing happened. But if I add the comma, so now we have the bracket, the comma, the bracket, and the comma. If I press on it, so Format Code, here you go, you have something more beautiful to see. And just before we finish this video, I want to show you another thing. Maybe you are coding with Windows and you can see that your text on your title is on the left. So when you code with Windows and Apple, there is some difference inside the look of the UI. But you can change this. So by example, if you are on Windows and you would like to have the title inside the center, or if you are on Mac and you would like to have the title in the left, you can go inside the app bar widget press Control Space, and you will see an argument called center title. And this, if you go over, you will see that it is only a Boolean. So that means true or false. So if we put this as false, like this, and we restart the app, we should see our title be on the left. If you put it as true, you will have your title on the middle. So that was just a little difference, just to make sure that everything understand why it is on the middle or on the left. That's it for this one. On the next video, we will finish by adding, for example, if I move this right there, we will add an icon for our application. I will show you how in the next video. See you on the next one. Bye. Inside this video, we will add the icon for our Flutter application. First, inside our code, we can see that this is not visually good. So what we will do is we will right click and we will press on Reformat Code. As you can see, the center title is now aligned with the other arguments. Good. So how do we add an image for our Flutter icon? We can go on the internet for this, and we will write Flutter Launcher Icon. And this is a package that we can use in order to add an image. So we will click on Flutter Launcher Icon, and you will see that this is what we call plugin, and you will use this a lot with Flutter. So we will go inside the installing, and we will go down until we find the section dependencies, and we will add these dependencies to our project. So I will Control C this line, I will copy this, and I will go inside my pubspec.yalm. I will double click on it, and I will go on the top until I find the section dependencies. So right now we have the Flutter SDK dependencies. What we will do is we will press enter, and we will delete once to be on the same level as Flutter. And then we will paste our dependencies. Okay, next step, what you will need to do is, by example, if we go back inside the website, you may have a different version. So what we will do for this course, we should always, you and me, have the same version always. This will prevent some bug later, because Flutter have a lot of bug when the dependencies change. So you will need to have the same version. Okay, so you can see that it is 0.9.0 right now. And how do we set the same dependencies? You can remove this. Because right now, this little information will tell Flutter if you find a newer version for this Flutter Launcher icon, then get it. So what we'll do is we will just remove this, and then Flutter will take exactly this version. Now we need to do the Flutter pub get right there, and our Flutter project will have this Flutter Launcher icon. Good. Next step, we will go back inside the website, and what you need to do is we will go inside the README, and we will go down until we find the setup.config file. So you will need to copy this, the Flutter icon. I will Control C, and I will go right after, so we can see it is the after the dev dependencies. So we go down, we find the dev dependencies, and after this one, we remove twice and we paste this information. Because as you can see, it is on the same level. It is very important inside this file. Okay, last thing that we need to do is add our image in order to have an image right there. So inside the resource of this course, you have an image called Launcher Icon PNG. I will copy this image. So copy. I will move back the file. I will go inside on image and I will paste this image. I will refactor. And now we have the Launcher Icon image. Perfect. If you remember, when we add an image, we need to add the path also. So we will go down until we find the asset section, and we will add another line. So I will copy this one, or I will just take this one. I will remove the comment. You go after the hashtag, you call one to the right, and you delete twice to be on the same level. And we change the name for launcher icon .png. Good. We can press on pub get to get the image path. We go back up, and inside the Flutter icon, we need to add the image path. So the image path is the same one that we just add. It is image/launcher icon.png. Here you go. So I will press once again on pub get to refresh all this file. And we need to do one more thing. Inside the website, so if I can reopen the website, we can go down a little and we will find this section, run the package. And you will copy this line of code. So I will Control C to copy. And inside my terminal, so you have a couple of lines right there, I will open a terminal. And inside this terminal, you will need to paste this line. And we'll just press enter. And here you go. This should be successfully installed. Perfect. So you have the successfully generated launcher icon. That is good. Last thing we need to do is to launch the application. And after a while, we should have our Flutter launcher icon on our app. Nice. So let's wait for this app to run. The application has been launched. And if we take the app and we minimize it, we should see our Flutter launcher icon. Perfect. So this was our first app from absolute scratch with Flutter. We have this app, we have an app bar, a title, we have also an image inside the app. This was the first section of this course. And on the next video, I have a practical exercise for you. So see you on the next one. Bye. If you liked the part 1 of this course, you can check out the part 2 right there. I'm sure you will absolutely like it, and it will look like this app. So see you on the part 2 of this course. Bye.
You make me nervous.